What's up? It's Jat Jones. Welcome to another free training. This free training is called the King Law of Success with Women. Today I'm going to share one law with you that is going to unlock your potential and get you unstuck and finally getting the results you want with women. So, this video is for you if you've been gathering information for a number of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years or more, but yet you're still stuck, you're still hitting up against an invisible wall and you don't know what you're doing wrong. You have acquired all the quality information, you know what to do, but yet when you go out there and talk to women, you're still not getting the results you want, you're not getting the outcomes you want. And perhaps, maybe you know everything you should do, but you're trapped in insecurity, fear, and confusion. You're too scared to go approach, you're too insecure to go approach, or maybe you're just too overwhelmed by all the information you've gathered and it's all so much that it has confused you, and so you are in some kind of action paralysis. So this video is for you if any of those apply. So in case you don't know my story, I grew up, my father wasn't around when I grew up. He was away on business a lot. And so I didn't have a man there to raise me from boy to man. And so when I wanted to transition, when I was in my transition from boy to man, I had nobody there to guide me. And the challenges of being a man are much different than the challenges of being a boy. So once you start graduating into manhood, start liking women, well, now you have to know how to deal with your fear and overcome it. You have to know how to believe in yourself. You have to know what to do with women, what to do when you like a girl, how to ask her out. And so I remember I was in high school and there was this gorgeous angel that I was just madly head over heels in love with. And I'll give you a fake name. Let's call her Nancy, all right? So this girl Nancy, in my eyes, was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen in my life. I was 14 years old, I was insecure, I was clueless, I had no idea how to talk to girls or how to overcome my shyness or how to go up and ask a girl out. And so I wanted to be with her. I wanted to ask her out. I wanted to make her my girlfriend more than anything in the world. But I was paralyzed in fear. And I remember I was so sad and angry because at the same time in my class, there was this other kid. And he was quite short, quite skinny, but he had all these girls around him. And he was cool, and the girls liked him, and he had a girlfriend, and he just had it easy. And the thing that pissed me off most was that he had a bigger brother supporting him, teaching him the ways of how to be a man. I would see his big brother come up to him, put his arm around him, and give him advice about girls. I would see his big brother come, show up anytime anyone was trying to mess with this, with his little brother, with this shorter kid. I would see his brother bring girls to his younger brother and, make him look cool, feel included and validated and all that stuff. And so while I was paralyzed in fear, clueless on how to make a move or how to overcome my insecurity and to take action, I was sitting there and watching someone else who was, no more charming or intelligent or anything than I was, living a life of freedom, enjoying women, being surrounded by women, and having a natural progression from boy to man where he was completely supported by another man. So throughout my youth, one of my biggest my biggest beef, my biggest question was, why isn't there a man here for me? Why is there nobody standing for me? Why didn't someone, some man, care enough to take the time to take me aside and teach me the ways of how to talk to women? Teach me how to believe in myself. Teach me how to feel fear, but take action despite of fear. Teach me what to say to a girl I like or how to ask her out. And so what happened is I never got Nancy. Oh, and here's another part. Nancy, okay, at the beginning of the school year, liked me and was throwing very obvious signs telling me, hey, Jad, I like you. Ask me out. I like you. And she was practically throwing herself at me. But because I was so insecure, so shy, so confused, I didn't dare make a move. And what happened is it took me around 3 months to finally muster up the courage to ask her out. So one day, I walked up to her on the playground. I took her aside and I said, hey, Nancy, do you want to be my girlfriend? And she looked at me and she smiled sweetly and she said, oh, that's very sweet of you, Jad, but I only like you as a friend. And because I hesitated, in that period, she saw me hesitate and she lost all interest in me. And I lost my chance with her forever. So what I always thought is if I had had a man there for me, mentoring me, helping me, supporting me, that opportunity would not have been lost. That story would have ended differently. I could have had that beautiful angel as my girlfriend and carried with me a beautiful, precious memory for the rest of my life of my time with Nancy, the most beautiful angel I had ever seen. And so the reason why I start this video by sharing this is because I know that you're in a very similar boat as I am. In your life, you have missed countless opportunities with countless beautiful angels because you were overwhelmed, you were confused, you were trapped in your fear, you weren't taught how to believe in yourself enough, you didn't have a man there for you supporting you, and so you missed out. And perhaps to this day, you are missing out on opportunities and missing out on life experiences because no one was there to support you. So if we go back to the short skinny kid in my class, the only thing that was different between myself and him was support. He had the support of a mentor, of an elder man, his big brother, whereas I didn't. And so the way our lives went is nothing happened with me and everything happened with him at that time, right? Eventually I caught up, but at that time. And that's the dilemma of millions of men across the world. The dilemma right now is that we are a generation of men who weren't raised. Okay? Our fathers let us down. Our fathers weren't there for us. Now, we're not going to blame our fathers. The reason why our fathers weren't there isn't because they're bad or irresponsible. It could be many cases, right? Maybe maybe your father did, run away after he got your mother pregnant or whatever. But just stay with me. I'm going to make a point here. I'm going to go kind of like a long way to make a point. Maybe our fathers did let us down because they weren't there for us, next to us, passing down the ways of how to be a man and how to be good with women. But the reason they weren't there for us is because the world pushed them out. I know my father, he was doing his best to be responsible to provide for his family. He worked full-time every day for decades because he wanted to provide for his family, to do the right thing. Okay, but he couldn't be in two places at once. And so he wasn't there to raise me and pass on the knowledge. And nobody taught him how to be a father. The truth is, our fathers let us down because their fathers let them down. And their fathers let them down because their fathers' fathers let them down. What we have here is a generational problem. We are living in a world that is forcing our fathers out. We're living in a financial world where people have to work overtime, move away, spend a lot of time away from their families, deal with all these different responsibilities. And the world we live in is not supportive of the tribal environment of which we originated in. You see, in the old days, we grew up in tribes, and every single day, the men would gather together around the fire and pass along wisdom. You would not only be raised by one man, not by your father, you would be raised by the community. You would have your father passing down wisdom, your uncles, your elder cousins, your brothers, your grandfathers, the neighbor's grandfather, great-grandfather, the neighbor's father. You would sit around a fire, and a boy would methodically, over a period of years between boyhood and manhood, he would be included in the tribe with the elders to observe and collect knowledge, and also be taught certain things, so that when he reaches manhood ready, with the requisite confidence, with the requisite belief in himself, with the requisite courage to face the fears that he needs to face. And so what I want you to understand is that, first of all, if you're struggling, it's not entirely your fault. Okay? We have to take responsibility for our lives today moving forward. However, we also need to understand that the system that used to support raising a boy into a man and allowing him to have a healthy transition from boy to man, that has all but collapsed, all but gone, all but disappeared. What used to be a tribe of 15, 20, 30 men to raise a boy has now become, maybe if you're lucky, one supportive present father to raise a boy, if you're lucky. However, if you're watching my videos, this means that your father either wasn't there physically, or maybe he was there physically, but he wasn't there mentally, emotionally, and spiritually with you. He was not there as your mentor. And so you've come out into the internet world to find that, to replace that. This conversation we're having now is a replacement for the conversations our forefathers should have had with us around the fire while we were making the transition from boy to man. So, the first thing I want you to understand, why are you failing in manhood? Why are you falling short with women? Why are you a victim and prisoner of your fear and unable to muster the requisite courage in order to take action and go talk to these beautiful women you want to talk to? It's because in that transition from boy to man, you were not instilled with enough confidence, with enough belief in yourself, with enough training on how to deal with heartbreak, temporary failure, difficult challenges. If you had been trained in these things in your evolution, in your while growing up, in your transition from boy to man, you would then have reached manhood with the ability to go after the challenges you need to go after, instead of being paralyzed by fear and insecurity. So give me a second to check my notes, otherwise I'm just gonna ramble in a random way. So that's a hint, that's your first hint towards the king law of success, the one law that separates the men who fail from the men who succeed, okay? We used to be raised in tribes and gather together as men, pass down knowledge, and collaborate and cooperate. That was ingrained in since the beginning of human time, let's say, since the beginning of when we were tribes, walking around barefoot. That's how we survived. That's how we did things. Okay. So while growing up, after seeing the radical difference in performance between myself, unsupported, and this short, skinny kid in my class who was supported, and the realization that, wow, it doesn't matter that he's short or skinny. The thing that mattered was that he was supported, and when he was supported, he got all the results, and I wasn't supported. I was going at it alone. Boom, I'm here paralyzed in fear, feeling weak, and so forth, right? Not getting results. So at an early age, I realized, okay, one of the most important things for me to do in order to become good with women is to make friends with men who are ahead of me, men who are good with women already. And so I'll tell you, in my life, I'm blessed to have a lot of, let's call them best friends, right? Some people have 2, some people have 1, some people have 3. I don't know the exact number. I'd have to really think about it, but let's say between 7 and 10 really good friends that I can call anytime, ask for anything, and they got my back. Okay? So I've been blessed to have a lot of very close relationships with a lot of awesome guys. And most of my close friends are men who are really good with women. And so I'll tell you this, when I was coming up, making that transition from not being good with women to being good with women, I watched a lot of videos, read a lot of ebooks, went to seminars, etc., etc. But nothing made as much of an impact as spending time around other men who are good with women and discussing seduction with men who get it, men who are good with women. Okay? So said in another way, no amount of information, okay, helped me. If information helped me this much, collaborating and hanging out with men who get it and having conversations with men who get it, kind of like around the fire, right? It helped me this much, okay? Information gathering helped me this much. Collaborating and masterminding with men who were better than me helped me this much and really gave me breakthroughs in performance and allowed me to start getting results with women, get more confident, believe in myself more, and all that great stuff. So here's something that you want to do. So this is the King Law. I'm going to present it in different ways so you can get different angles at it. Okay? So the law is this. If you want to succeed quickly, you always need to collaborate. Okay, this is you, this is other people. You always need to collaborate with others. And you don't want to collaborate horizontally, meaning you don't want to collaborate with men who are on the same level as you. You don't want to collaborate down. You don't want to collaborate with men who have absolutely no game and don't get anything, okay? You want to collaborate up, okay? You always want to collaborate up. When I went around, I'm like, which guys are badasses who are really good with women? Oh, these guys, okay, let me collaborate up. Let me make friends with these guys. Collaborating up helped me more in my life than all the ebooks and all the videos I watched combined, okay? Because it is a human give and take. They pointed out my blind spots. We discussed things together. I got the devil, when it comes to getting good with women, the devil is in the details. Everybody knows the general laws of attraction now, okay? Maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, it was all like new, like, oh my God. Everybody knows it now, right? You know what attracts girls. You know how not to be needy. You know the general information. But you're still not getting girls. Have you ever asked yourself why? Why, if you know so much information that you could literally write a book about how to attract a woman, why then, with all this information, are you not getting results out in the real world? Have you ever asked yourself that? I'll ask you another question. Why? Okay, so I have a coaching program. It's called the Man Transformation Experience. It's a 12-week program. So the pattern that happens is usually if someone doesn't know me online, they usually won't hire me for coaching other than a few exceptions. I would say around 90% of people who hire me for coaching are viewers who have been watching me for anywhere from 1 to 6 years. So here's my question to you. Why after, sorry, I just forgot my point. Okay, so why do guys after 3 years of watching me and probably watching everyone else, why are they still not getting results? But then when they come and collaborate with me inside the Man Transformation Experience for only 12 weeks, why do they then go from not having results for 3 years and then after a matter of 3 to 6 to 9 months, they're getting results, they're getting girlfriends, they're in relationships, they're having sex, blah, blah, blah. Why? Because the devil is in the details. Okay? You know the general stuff about seduction, fine. But general doesn't get you results in the real world. The devil is in the details. And the details come out of a mentor's mouth. Someone who has figured it out before you. That's why when I masterminded with these guys who already get it, then when I spoke to them, they would tell me they would give me these little adjustments. Hey Jad, you're doing this, just tweak that a little bit. Or hey Jad, you're thinking of it like this, just think of it like that. Or hey Jad, you're looking at this situation this way, just change your perspective and look at it this way. And it's these little tweaks over a period of time from masters, from masters, people who have mastered seduction. Those details are what caused me to have rapid transformations in performance and get this woman thing handled. So there's a difference between information gathering and getting it. Okay? You need to get it. Right now you know about seduction. You know about women. You know about what attracts women. Okay? Knowing about something doesn't mean you get it. Okay? The man who knows about something, he goes out in the world and he doesn't get any results. The guy who gets it goes out and attracts women consistently and predictably. So right now you're not getting results because you know about seduction, but you don't get it. Getting it, let's have an analogy for getting it. Okay? So you know when someone tells you a joke and okay, so usually someone tells you a joke and you laugh immediately. Ha ha ha, right? Why do you laugh immediately? Because you get it, right? Other times someone tells you a joke and then you don't get it and you're just like, I don't get it, right? Then the person explains the joke to you and then you're like, okay, I get it. But you don't laugh. Okay, you don't laugh. So when you don't get a joke, when you don't get it, you don't laugh. When you get a joke, you laugh automatically, right? So the difference right now between all your information gathering, which is more or less useless if you've been stuck for 1, 2, or 3 years, it doesn't work. You've tried that method. You're accumulating information. It doesn't work, right? You're not getting it. Accumulating information isn't making you get it. What makes you get it is collaborating. When you collaborate, then you are mentored And then the devil is in the details. Your mentor gives you all these details, all these little adjustments, all these time, because all you need are tiny adjustments. All you need are tiny adjustments in how you're approaching something, and how you're seeing something, and how you're viewing yourself, and how you're presenting yourself, and how you're communicating, and on and on and on and on. But you're blind to those, okay? You have all these blind spots. You have hundreds of blind spots, and because you're not collaborating up, those blind spots remain. So let's say these are your blind spots. Let's say these are 5 blind spots. Okay, blind spots are unconscious mistakes that you're making which are preventing you from getting success with women. So let's say you have these 5 blind spots here. What do people usually do to deal with these blind spots? They go over here and they start gathering information. Let's say this is a pile of papers of information. They gather. Keep gathering information. But what's happening to your blind spots? They're still here untouched. Why? Because how do you find something? How do you know that you don't know something? Okay? How do you know that you don't know something? You can't know that you don't know something because you don't know it. It's your blind spot. So gathering more information isn't going to solve this. Okay? Unless you get lucky. But my data has shown, after being a dating coach for 8+ years, and after having a YouTube channel since 2011, which is around 8 years, my data, the pattern that has shown across the board is that guys will watch my videos as well as others' videos for 3, 4, 5, 6 years and accumulate all this information, and they're still not getting results. Why? Because they didn't deal with their blind spots. How do you deal with your blind spots? My dear, you collaborate up. So the king skill, the thing that you're missing, is collaboration with a mentor. So go out there into the world, find men who already have this handled, and become their friends, hang out with them, sit around the virtual fire and have long discussions with them. Okay? That's what we do on a weekly basis in the Man Transformation Experience. We sit down for 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, around a virtual fire discussing women, discussing what it means to be a man, discussing how to have more courage, how to overcome our fears and insecurities. Discussion, collaboration, support, encouragement, validation. We sit around that fire, and that's why the students start getting results, because there's a collaborative magic that happens. So in your life, you need to go from this isolated, alone information gatherer, okay, over here to people, mentor, collaborator, okay? Collaborate up with mentors. Become a collaborator with men who are ahead of you in the game. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I'm just checking my notes so I keep the video as short as possible. Okay, so here I had a story of one of my students, Derek. Again, I don't share my students' real names, so I'm calling him Derek. And he was getting stuck in the friend zone for years. He was so frustrated, he was ready to give up. He had no idea what he was doing wrong. If you met Derek in real life, you would never guess that he struggled with women. You know, he was cool, he was confident, he was loud, he was able to keep a conversation going. In a group environment, in a room, he could like command the room. He had like his public persona was, you know, it appeared like he was totally confident. But his problem was that he wasn't getting women. Women were friend zoning him. Women were constantly ghosting him. Okay, he would go on a first date with a woman. She wouldn't want to see him again. And he had... Okay, sorry, the video cut there. So continuing, he had all these insecurities about himself and his own value and his inexperience with women. Okay? And he was without a girlfriend for 5 years. 5 years. This guy was lonely, frustrated, alone, ashamed, without a girlfriend. And then he joined us. He masterminded up. He collaborated up. And inside our weekly conversations with him, we discussed all his issues. I gave him all the little tweaks. I told him that I showed him he had such a strong foundation and he only needed these little adjustments. And with these little adjustments, I have now helped him consistently go out, attract women. He's bringing women back to his place. Girls are even asking him out and trying to sleep with him. It's very entertaining for me to see such a huge shift. And that's from 5 years of going alone versus 12 weeks of collaborating up with someone who's already figured this out. So that's just a story I was going to share with you. So the king law is collaborate up. The king law is collaborate up. The dumbest thing to do, my dear. And I don't mean to insult you, but I want to wake your brain up from sabotaging your life. The dumbest thing to do, if this represents you alone, is just continue going at it alone. Nobody wins alone, man. Nobody. Life is a collaborative sport. It is a team sport. Look at any athlete. Look at any athlete, pro athlete. Do you ever see a pro athlete alone? Never, right? He has his trainers, he has his physiotherapists, he has his mental coach, he has his girlfriend or wife, he has his family supporting him, he has a marketing department, it's a team. Okay, there's a saying, it takes a village to raise one child. It takes a village, these represent people, it takes a village to raise one child. Right? Similarly, it takes a team to raise one star athlete. What is that telling you? Why your life is no different or less important than a star athlete's career. Start taking your life as seriously, and just as seriously as a pro athlete takes his life and supports himself with a support staff, collaborative staff, where he masterminds up, finds the best coaches, the best physiotherapists, the best whatever, because he knows he needs that, and he knows this is what you need to know. If you walk away with nothing from this video except this, know that if you continue going at it alone without collaborating up, you will fail. Your story will end sadly. All right? I'll give you a quote by Jim Rohn, which I really like. The weight of discipline weighs ounces. The weight of regret weighs tons. The weight of discipline weighs ounces. The weight of regret weighs tons. Don't go at life alone, only to reach the end figuring out that you failed, and then have the weight of regret on you. Okay? I'm giving you the answer right now. Obviously, there are a lot of other pieces, but if you don't collaborate up all the other pieces, this is what makes all the other laws of success effective and powerful and work. Without collaboration, when someone's alone, I've been studying the laws of success since I was 20 years old. I'm 39 now. And I'll tell you, this law, okay, without going to any biography, this law, if violated, you will not have a biography, you will not be in the history books, because you will not succeed, because every biography, every success story, you will see that the hero did it with a team. All right, collaboration, Never, ever alone. So, you need more quality collaborations, not more quality information. Okay? Let me say that again. You should probably write this down. What you need are more quality collaborations. So quality means don't collaborate with people horizontally, people who are the same level as you. Don't collaborate down as people who are, less skilled than you. Collaborate up. Okay? So you need more quality collaboration, not more quality information. Everybody values information so much. Oh, is this video going to be good? Oh, let's watch this video. That's just information. One way. Right now, the information is going out towards you. My question to you, my challenge to you, is what are you going to do with this information I give you? Because what I'm telling you to do is to have a behavior change, to go out and do something, to go out and collaborate, to go out and do something different than you've ever done. And that takes a bit of courage. Okay? That takes a bit of swallowing your pride, because a lot of guys, the only reason they don't go out for help is because they're too proud to ask for help. Well, let's rewind back in history to when we were barefoot in leather skins sitting around a fire. What was that? Men sitting around a fire every night, not to mention the men sitting around all day together in silence in a bush waiting to hunt some bison or whatever. We used to spend time together. And what do you think we did together? We passed around knowledge, we supported, we helped, we served each other. So if you're too proud to ask for help, you're too proud to collaborate, you're violating the natural law of success, of how things work, which is when we were in tribes, the very function of the tribe was to help and support each other. Right now, you're a lone ranger out in an ice storm with a thin jacket and nowhere to go, and that's why you keep falling flat on your face. So swallow your pride, change your approach. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So don't be insane. Change your approach, change your behavior. Go out there, find a mentor up, collaborate so that mentor can give you the tweaks you need, because the devil's in the details, not in the general information, and you will get a breakthrough in performance and finally actualize the visions and the dreams that you have inside. Because I know you want to be dating women that you're truly attracted to. You want intimacy. You want to live a quality life. You want to grow old knowing that you lived life to the fullest, that you had all these amazing experiences with all these amazing women. And the thing that's holding you back right now is the lack of collaboration. All right? That's the key that will unlock the next level for you. You've accumulated this much information. Congratulations. It's time to get rid of these 5 blind spots. You do it by collaborating. All right? So, what else? Okay, so in my notes I said I was giving examples of common stories of success. Mike Tyson, his famous story was that he had a coach who believed in him. If that coach didn't believe in him, and if he didn't collaborate with that coach, Mike Tyson would have been a nobody in prison or probably even killed. Tiger Woods, who did you think Tiger Woods succeeded because he's awesome? Who helped him? His father. Rocky Balboa from the movies Rocky. All right? It was Rocky and his coach. Rocky without the coach would be nothing. All right? The Karate Kid. The Karate Kid, who did the Karate Kid have? Mr. Miyagi. Are you seeing the pattern? Kill Bill. All right? Uma Thurman's character. What did she do? She went up into the mountains to get trained by some master who popped her eye out as punishment. Right? What's the pattern here? They all collaborated up. Okay? And all of their stories would not have even existed had they not met with that mentor and sought out help. So, go out there, make friends with guys, join the Man Transformation Program. I don't care what you do. The one thing I care is don't do it alone. And I'll close with this, okay? I'll close with this. So we have a private community of men who have gone through the Man Transformation experience, and through that experience, because people have such a wonderful transformation and improve the quality of their lives, we have this private community where we stay in contact, and we meet either on a weekly basis or once a month for students who graduated. And there's this one guy from Sweden, and I don't know, I'll just give you his first name. I'm not going to say anything too personal about him. Well, no, let me change his name in case I say something personal. Let's just call him Bjorn. I think that's more of a Norwegian name, but let's call him Bjorn, all right? So Bjorn was struggling for years, had a lot of dysfunctional and abusive relationships with women. He collaborated with me. We had our weekly talks by the fire, virtual fire. And to make a long story short, he went from struggling with women or only attracting like really toxic women to being able to consistently attract great women that he was attracted to and that were not toxic. And for the past 5-6 months, I've been trying to get him here to join our live events. I've been trying to get him on the calls where we check in with each other to see how everyone's doing. But Bjorn's always busy, man. He's always busy. What's he busy with? He's busy with his wonderful new girlfriend. They're always traveling places. They're always doing things, going on trips. He's always, Paul, sorry, Jad, I really wanted to join you guys, but I made this plan with my girlfriend. Jad, I'm really sorry, but it happens that this, your gathering in Bucharest was at the same time that my girlfriend and I planned a vacation. And that's beautiful, man. To see someone who was stuck and suffering now be living in freedom and having such a great time that he doesn't have time for me anymore, that's wonderful. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to find an amazing girl. I want you to experience intimacy. I want you to go on vacations with this amazing girl. I want you to go and cuddle on that couch with your girl for hours, watch Netflix, play PlayStation, do whatever, eat ice cream together, make fun of each other, play wrestle. I want you to be happy. I want you to live your life fully. I want you to live your youth fully. Okay? I don't want to see you a year from now typing me, telling me, hey, Jad, I'm still stuck. All right? I've seen so many guys, whether they come through the Man Transformation experience or whether me in the past when I collaborated with others. The moment a man collaborates up, things change for him. Transformations happen and lives improve. So I must stand for your right to live a quality life full of joy, fulfillment, and freedom from fear. I want you to be free from fear, bro. I want you to be able to take action when you want to take action. I want you to love yourself and not feel ashamed that you're controlled by fear all the time. I want you to look yourself in the mirror and love yourself and love what you see and believe. Say to yourself, I have what it takes. All right? And I strongly believe that the way you're going to get all these things, the way you're going to live a quality life is by starting to collaborate up. All right? Swallow your pride, get humble, ask for help. There's nothing wrong for a man asking for help or masterminding up or pulling a man aside and being like, hey, I noticed you're really good at this. Would you mind teaching me? All right? There's no shame in that. That's what we used to do in our tribes. All right? Now we gotta recreate it for ourselves because the tribes, vaporized, gone, disappeared, destroyed. All that tradition is gone. So we have to intentionally create those tribes. That's why I create a private community. That's why you need to join a community. You need to collaborate up. Okay, so that, my dear, is the king law, was what I'm calling the king law of success with women, because I've seen it too many times, man. I haven't seen a guy totally alone who succeeded, including myself, all right? And I've seen countless guys get breakthroughs once they swallowed their pride and just collaborated, all right? Collaborate up. That's the parting message. Take care.